am I correct in remembering that Boston is where the largest kind of concentration of Ugandans living in the US are located?
According to the most recent information that I have, yes, that's the
Right. So that's a good location for us to make friends in.
Yes. Okay, let's see here.
So Brenda WhatsApped me lots of pictures of her in the field.
Okay.
She's doing right now. So what it looks like from the photo. So Brenda, for those of you who don't know anything about her, just graduated October 18th. And she has a degree in agriculture. With her job is very much what we in the US call an agricultural extension agent. So she works out in the field helping farmers and people engaged in agriculture find the best ways to improve their work. And so from the pictures, it looks like they're providing them with seeds, like packets of seed, like big boxes of seeds, as well as something that would be a sprayer, like when we spray our weeds. So they're distributing these things to farmers, is what it looks like in the photos to me. So that's what she's doing today.
Thank you, Albert. I think for Brenda's case, agriculture is vast here in Uganda, but we have areas of specialization, and Brenda specializes in crop production. So she's in Uganda, she can work as an extension agricultural worker, whereby she can be dealing with the farmers directly on how to propagate good breeds of crops, then also on how to treat them, treating the crops and what have you. The other one is animal husbandry, which I don't think she's an authority in. The ones who deal with the animals, maybe how to teach the animals, but for Brenda in particular, specialized in agriculture or agribusiness. So she's dealing basically with the farmers to deal with food production. That's what I know what Brenda did. And I think it's a good one, marketable here in Uganda. I know she'll achieve her full potential, I believe so.
Yeah. She also did, yeah, John's correct. She doesn't do the animal husbandry, not as far as I know, but she did a project on fish farming, tilapia farming. She learned how to introduce the idea of fish farming to some of these communities. I don't think she's done anything with it, but it was part of her education. One of the courses she took had a thing where they went out into a community and helped them develop. I guess they made an artificial pond or artificial lake to farm tilapia.
It's so interesting to hear how things are diversifying. Certainly with the earliest CROSO scholars, there weren't as many occupational paths that people were looking at, and it's just really, it's interesting to hear how much broader it is.
Well, that was one thing that I had learned in my research, just kind of online and talking to people. There was a person who was, I can't remember which university she was at, but she was in gender studies, and she was talking about the importance of career counseling. And I was thinking about the graduates in this kind of network that some of the current scholars were telling me about, all the people who have come before them and these kind of connections that they have. So to be able to rely on each other, but also to provide that and see people go into different fields. And as I kind of tap into my network of people I met in university days, being able to connect with them about what our scholars do when it's a wider field is always very interesting, whether it be engineering or agriculture or medicine. I think that's really exciting to hear. And then also for the purpose of knowledge exchange, because I feel like there's a lot that we can learn and share, and being able to do that kind of more broadly across different fields is pretty positive.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Richard, good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
Hello, Richard. So Sharon was just sharing that Brenda is still in the field doing her field work. I know, John, you had some things that you were sharing. Richard, also, if you have some things to share, particularly just about Brenda and her studies, and also in light of her graduation. I think that's kind of an arc of the conversation.
So Albert, we did have one question we wanted to ask Brenda that I think both John and Richard are very well equipped to address. And that is, so John already mentioned that Brenda's work is largely in crop production with the farmers. Brenda was going to talk to us a little bit about how climate change might be affecting the farmers. And I know Richard loves to talk about climate change. So perhaps they could, address that with regard to the rich agricultural traditions in the country.
Oh.
John, Richard, anything to say in that regard? Channel Brenda for us.
Although I'd also expected Joanne to be on the call. I don't know whether it was some issue on communication. I think.
So can you enlighten us a little bit or tell us a little bit about how conversations around climate change and agriculture are an issue in Uganda?
Yes, I can. Uganda being an agricultural country, and I know Brenda must be experiencing this a lot because actually to begin with, this year we have experienced a shift in our planting seasons. We normally have 2 planting seasons, and the major one is always the first season, which starts from around March to June. But this year it was the other way around. We have had this season having more intense rainfall than the first one. And that already has affected the farmers because most of them were not prepared for this kind of weather. But also in terms of temperatures, we've recently had some temperatures going up. Like we are having high temperatures than normal. So it is still one of the conditions that has been attributed to climate change. And I know some of our people are yet to understand that climate change is affecting this, and to some extent it has really affected even the health of the people, like especially the children.
So John, do you have any comments on that? What Richard was saying about the change in the planting season and effects on health?
I'll pick up from where Richard had stopped. He was bringing up the point of 2 seasons, and the first season is starting from the month of March, and we expect harvesting around July, and then the second season begins around August, September. But you realize that in Uganda, we rely on rainfall. So at times when we plant around March, expect that it's going to rain the whole of April and May, and then maybe we don't get reliable rainfall. The fact that most farmers are affected in the long run. So we don't do much of extensive irrigation here in Uganda. That's why you see climate change always affects us so much in Uganda. But if we are to adopt that practice of irrigation, Uganda would be having food throughout the whole year. So then at times when, like the second season, instead of us receiving the rains which are reliable, we are getting received too much, which leads to floods. And so when farmers' gardens are flooded, you find that crops still don't do what? don't do well, especially for us, like in Teso, who live in the lower lands. You find the waters come from the mountains areas of Mbare, then ships, those areas of Butareja, maybe Padisa, maybe Ukedia, and most of Teso. So basically, too much rainfall affects the farmers here, and then also unreliable rainfall also affects farmers in what? In one way or another. So it's a two-way thing.
It's very
Yeah.
interesting.